Assalamu alaikum one and all. Good morning to one and all. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to Sadaqat sir for providing me a very good opportunity in learning and sharing knowledge sessions. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah,
now, dear teachers, we have undoubtedly heard about project-based learning and its potential to help students to take ownership of their learnings. See, when it comes to prepare the next generation for the future, ultimately it comes that education becomes priority. So traditional learning in classroom-based education nowadays is being challenged by the ever increasing complexities of our lives and societies. So in this scenario, PBL is the fast emerging method which is catching the attention of the educationists and policymakers to introduce PBL in their education system. Okay, let's move on to session's topic, that is challenges in implementing project-based teaching and learning. This we'll discuss at the end of the session, but first we'll look how to implement PBL in the classroom, especially in our classroom, Indian syllabus, how to tackle with PBL. Then why project-based learning nowadays is representing a radical departure, we must say, from what are we used to traditional learning. Now, PBL, the word, as soon as we heard the word PBL, it becomes a myth in our mind that it is suitable for USA or Finland or other foreign countries, not for our Indian syllabus. Even yesterday, one of the teacher has written a query that rote learning, memorization is our trend. Without that, we cannot go. So we'll see how far it is true. As soon as we progress in our session, we'll come to know. So for many educators, I must say teachers, PBL is a totally in contrast to the traditional education they experience. It's true, we learn in a different way. So we are not ready to accept PBL methodology. But my dear teachers, it's not true. We can implement PBL, only we need 3 P's. 3 P's, that is planning, preparation, and patience. Planning, preparation, and patience. And it is really feel bad that many teachers are going to the classes without preparation. Means it is like doing injustice with the students. So please be prepared when no matter how much you are how much you are well versed with the syllabus topic, but still you need a preparation. Actually, what does a PBL requires? PBL requires from you to coach more and instruct less, to hold interdisciplinary learning instead of remaining locked in a single subject system. And okay, let me move. So to become more comfortable with uncertainty and discoveries during the learning process, this only PBL requires from you teachers. Changes may take times, okay, but it will be in a good, fruitful manner. So this is a quote I have taken from ILO. This is International Labour Organization. They have defined in a very simple way that basic education for all, core work skills for all, and lifelong learning for all. See, when education and skill blend together, this results in lifelong learning. Then we have to accept this and need to work upon it to make next generation future better. Now question comes to our mind. Why do we want a next generation to a lifelong learner? See, to meet the global demands, what are the changes are occurring? We adults are drastically facing many problems nowadays. We don't know how our next generation will be going to face these challenges in future. Okay, like climate. We know climate changes affects a lot an impact on countless people, places, and even wildlife. Ultimately, long-term effects of climate changes goes down the economy of that particular place. Then we need, as fuel demanding is increasing, fossil fuel is getting depleting or extinct. So we're supposed to adapt some eco-friendly energy sources, that is alternate source of energy like biogas, biofuels, okay? And to meet the growing demand population, we need to apply some novel technologies in agriculture. Then digital communications to stimulate real world problems for next generation, and many more. Urbanization, deforestation, which leads to pollution, causes several health issues, and the list goes on. Now, this slide is very important. You just remember that we are going to focus on these skills, keep on in our further session, discussions. To meet the demands of global changes, we must able to ready to students to tackle all these challenges along with the academic content. We need additional skills also. All these additional skills are success, collaboration, communication, so on, self-management, creativity, and innovation. And these are all 21st century skills children must practice in their young age. It's very necessary. Okay, then why do we want our children to become a 21st century students? Then who is going to help them? Ultimately, teachers, teaching faculty to think like innovators. Not only teaching faculties, but when teaching faculties are becoming innovators, then schools must become the laboratories. Okay, so teachers, why innovators? Means they need to educate next generation students, creative problem solvers and innovators, and to meet the demands of rapid changes in technology that has to be created a whole different global workplace. Then teachers, why they have to become or think innovators? Because they have to create jobs. 85% of jobs that will exist in 2030 are yet to be created. Okay, survival in this, and this word uncertain world really क्या कहेंगे, uncertainty nowadays. We are facing a very uncertain, we are living in a very uncertain period. Lockdown, what is happening, when this pandemic is going on, going to finish off, we don't know. This is completely a scenario, uncertain scenario. This requires some adaptability, resilience, that is resistance, and we must be resourcefulness. So teachers have to guide the students like this. And apart from that, schools are expected to go beyond the academics instructions to teach students latest technology, to adapt latest research-based educational methodologies. In my observation, I have to say or not, most of the schools, they focus only on result-based institutions, result-oriented schools or institutions. They focus only to get good results, 90 to 99%, 100%. So ultimately, they are pressurizing the teachers to go for traditional method, that is memorization, learning, and all. Okay, that gives a time being success, but it is not good for the students. That have to be crucial. Think. So next, so what is this research-based educational methodology? This PBL is a research-based methodology. It is a dynamic approach to teaching and learning, and nowadays it has become a hottest buzzwords in education. Why? Simple. It's an inquiry-based approach that can be used from early years of schooling. That can be, I'm focusing this, that can be used from early years of schooling. Means pre-primary sections, also primary sections, you start implementing this. Then college level education, where students learn by addressing a real world challenge. Its uniqueness lies in the fact that students come up with an end product which represents their new understandings, knowledge, and attitude. It means that through projects, students master skills, critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration. I told you to remember those 21st century skills. We are keep on repeating these skills that are hard to teach in our traditional classrooms. Next, let us have a look according to educational researchers' point of view. And these are all research-based quotations or views. There are many who see project-based learning not a mere classroom instructional strategies, but as the means to redirect the instructional approach to teach the skills needed to prepare students for the modern global economy. This is a research-based type. Then with PBL, investigate and respond to an authentic, engaging, and complex problems or challenge with deep and sustained attention. This has been quoted by BIE. It's a research institute on education, and PBL is nothing but learning by doing. We keep on saying. And one of the major advantage of this is my favorite one of the major advantage of project work is that it makes school more like real life. It's an in-depth investigation of a real world topic worthy of children's attentions and efforts. This has been given by a educational research, and these facts you must be correlate when we further move on to our discussion. Inshallah. Done. Why project-based learning? Is there any answer? I think answer I have given. Why project-based learning? See, why do we need to implement project-based learning in the classroom atmosphere? Because, my dear teachers, we are living in a project world where, like planning an event, project-based work is given to the job assessments. Okay, so at that time, the children must ready to participate in any competitive levels. So we need to inculcate all these skills from the elementary level. As we discussed, that project-based is an inquiry-based classwork. Then when PBL combines standard-based curriculum to empowering students to solve real-world challenges, then projects to teacher here teacher facilitates a collaborative learning process and act more like, in the beginning also I was saying that teachers to coach more, instruct less. Here also teacher facilitates more than instruct less as a student, but the student find their way through the process of finding a solution to a problem or question. Then student begins to become more self-aware about the learning process and strategies, and to work become more efficient learning. All of this results ultimately in a real enjoyment and true understanding. So a Swiss psychologist says knowledge is a consequences of experience. So how far it is true? Let's move on. Before moving on, I'll take a little pause for here. I'll ask a teacher, anyone, please can you tell me, if you go to the classroom, if you want to take a photosynthesis lesson, what will be your strategies? Just in a simple way, not in a project-based learning. Anyone, 1 second answer, 1 minute, then a second if anybody is able to. Nobody?
No, there are no answers.
Achha, okay, I will only discuss if it is in a traditional way or classical way of teaching. The teacher goes to the class taking a textbook, or nowadays study material. Least bother about the textbooks also. Even the institutions are not forcing them to use textbook.
There is a
Uh,
person saying
uh,
digital video of photosynthesis. Maybe
okay.
she will take that.
Okay, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Okay. Then when teacher, okay, digital media also when teacher is using, everything is coming on the screen, simply playing the movie on the screen, and as teacher thinks that it's her job is over. That's not true. Okay, we'll see. In a classical way, we write that photosynthesis word on the board. Photo means light, synthesis means preparing or making. When we putting together, it becomes a photosynthesis. And for the process of photosynthesis, we need carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. Okay.
There
And
is
what
a
happens?
one person saying, okay, as a teacher, I will interrogate with the students.
Yes, very
And
good.
another person says, take them to the garden and teach lively.
Very good. This is what I want from the teachers. Okay, really. In a classical way, again in the same traditional way, we are focusing on photosynthesis. What happened during photosynthesis? All this carbon dioxide from air passes through small pores in the leaves. These are called stomata, and water absorbed by the roots passes through stems to the leaves. Then sunlight is absorbed by green leaves. Why green leaves are green in color? Because of chlorophyll, that is a pigment. All this over 1 or 2 within a day or a two, we'll finish off the lesson. Then comes a very important part of the lesson, that is assessment. We are not calling it assessment also now, that in a classical or traditional teaching method, we just important part, homework, take down the homework, asking them to learn the question answers. Important. Not even bother about the important points given there in the study material, only direct question answers. Mug up, rote memory, memorization, again starts that. Okay.
So there is another people are saying, explore the ideas from the students or start with the discussion whether plants
Yes,
are
yes.
living and in what way, how they get
They are
the
making my
energy.
job easier. Thank you very much.
Another
Good
person says
audience.
doing activity by keeping plant in dark room and one plant in
Yes.
garden. We can identify the process of photosynthesis.
Really enjoying this with the answers, and really good response from the participants. So what I mean to say that teachers who make project based learning a regular part of their teaching definitely enjoy their new role. Although for some time it may take time to adjust from traditional practice. I'm focusing traditional practice, but it's fun to get creative when designing a project instead of just using off-the-shelf curriculum material. Why I discuss that regular class, traditional way of teaching and all. This is to focus on. Our next is, uh, can we have a lesson plan to design a lesson plan? Okay, PBL model, according to PBL model. As one of my participants was saying that to enhance the knowledge of the students by putting video or taking them to garden. That's all are very good ideas to make them engage. Okay. So this is something, the title of my lesson plan is Making Food Through Photosynthesis, a recipe for plants. This lesson is for 6 to 8. Duration 15 periods, 5 periods for 90 minutes per class and 10 periods for 45 minutes. And the length of the lab, it is flexible and can be adjusted to fit into teachers' existing curriculum frameworks. Okay. Now, next, what are the objectives? At the end, objectives means the teacher must be clear when going to the class what she is going to teach and what the children will going to learn from her, no matter in what way, uh, but objectives must be clear for the teacher, that at the end of the lesson the student must able to say that sunlight plays an important role in photosynthesis, how solar energy is turned into chemical energy, and air, that is carbon dioxide and water, are also essential for plants to prepare food. Then plants produce glucose as a food. glucose and oxygen using all this air, and parts of the plants are also very important for the food preparation. Then next, this lesson plan is based on 5E, that is engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. See, this lesson plan allows us to incorporate a variety of learning opportunities and strategies for students. With multiple learning experiences, students can gain new ideas, demonstrate thinking, draw conclusions, develop critical thinking skills, and interact with peers through discussions and hands-on activities. And with each stage in this lesson model, we have to select strategies that will serve students best for the concepts and content being delivered to them, and also to facilitate peer discussions, participation in a group activity, reflective learning practices, and accountability for learning happen. So this 5E model, we keep on correlate with each stage when we are planning for this lesson. Okay? Now next, learning outcome of this 5 lesson plan is a student must be able to explain their understanding. This involves, through this methodology, involves the students completing an activity or assignment that forces them to expand their thinking and knowledge of the topic, and also will propose solutions and extends their learning to new situations. These are now next, planning a session. As this, I'm keep on whenever I'm using this steps, I'll put this in a short picture, like engage. How are we going to engage? As one of the participants was saying, that putting video, songs, taking them garden, story creating, something we have to create interest and excitement for the students to engage them in the topic. Maybe we start with short video, maybe we play a song, maybe we have a play a small card game or a drama skit, something. Teacher, it all depends on the creativity of the teachers. Now I use the song. It is a very good song lyrics I got, so I have given the links also. You can use this. I like. It's not necessary कि आपको भी पसंद आए. Okay. Next, after this, once we play the video or song, then it comes the brainstorming sessions. Okay, start asking about the what they have observed in the video, what are the factors which helps the plants to grow, to make food. Okay, questions, start brainstorming discussions with the students, and when they come up with this, then create a small activity sheet. This as an example I have given you. It's up to you. Okay, what plants need, what plants have, what plants are. And one of the my student, she has done this. For an example, I put this. I emphasis this will be your formative assessment. Instead of going for long-term assessments, you are teaching photosynthesis now and taking after 15 or 1 month after test means, again the student face a problem. Here only if you conduct the formative assessment in the classroom itself, it will be a very good for the students actually. Okay, so children will definitely give you very good ideas what plants need. Okay, have and are. Some will also write autotrophs, living things, something. They will come up with very good ideas. Now next, see, once they finish up their activity or worksheet completed, they will be determined that sunlight, carbon dioxide and water is necessary for the plants to make food. And at the end, what outcomes? Oxygen and glucose. So ultimately, it clicks to their mind that it is a lesson of photosynthesis. They recall because photosynthesis already they have learned in second and third standard. The term, the word photosynthesis already they have aware of this. So they'll immediately recall that lesson. Array, it is about plants prepare food. Okay. So these are the materials needed for a plant to grow. They recall, and as a teacher, you try to provoke their curiosity, asking those questions in taking them in different directions. Okay, like taking away, ask them, if we take away one factor from this, what happened on the growth of the plant? Does it affect? So keep on provoking them. Okay. So why we are taking them in a they're thinking in a different direction means we are going to plan an investigation now. Okay. So immediately once they determine with this factors, then divide the group class into groups. It's very good because collaborative work gives a very good results. Okay. Then again, each group give 5 to 10 minutes to brainstorm the basic needs of plants and the factors that could adversely affect a plant's growth and all. Why we are dividing them? Because collaboratively work is to identify the environmental conditions a plant needs to survive. Here they ask them to make predictions and set test hypothesis they are going to do. So they have to plan this all about how different materials like light, water, and air affect the plant growth. Okay. So what, again, I'm just taking a little pause. What are you thinking about? When do we use this words prediction, hypothesis? Where we use actually? Can anyone tell me? Am I getting answers? When do we use these words? Predictions, hypothesis, this type of words where we use these words in the when we are doing science fair projects.
Yeah, there are answers. Murshida saying science fair or
Yes,
research projects.
yes.
Fatima Nisra saying
Yes.
science fair, and someone
I
with the
really appreciate the
methodologies.
participants. They are very interactive actually. I was thinking how I can give this webinar. This is my first experience, but participants are not making me feel that this is my first experience. As I'm
GRM
seeing
says
that
hands-on experience, and Zahid methodology, ABMS doing activity,
yes, all this
science
related to
festival,
science fair projects. It means we are taking our lesson is connecting to the scientific and engineering practices. Okay. Now the second someone is video. Okay, now back side again you can see the small picture of 5E lesson plan. We are moving to the next step, that is explore. Okay, now children are involving in exploration. They are using applying scientific methodology to explore their knowledge. They have set some questions like, does air affect plants growth? Does water affect plant growth? These questions, and they are trying to finding out the answers for this by applying the scientific method and conducting activity or project. Okay, then children only able to formulate the group hypothesis. It's very good because it's a group activity. If it is acceptable, if group members elect to create personal hypothesis, it's a very good thing. Then after that, list out the materials, what do they need, then design the experiment. Okay, I'm not mentioning all this, just going on. Step-by-step procedure that can easily be replicated by another group of scientists. This is very important point. Then here only you have to talk about variables and controls. Then next, plan and carry out investigation, then analyze and interpret the data using mathematics and computational thinkings. Then after, at the end, construct explanations and design the solutions. And then these are all scientific methods. Then after that, each team can remove one variable. either no light, no water, no soil, or no air. Okay. Compare this with control variables. These variables at the beginning only teacher has to uh, teach the students and record observation and must keep one as a lab investigation worksheet or a book. Now discuss variables. As I was saying, I also keep this variables what are that may be changed during an experiment. So we must have three variables: independent, dependent, and control. Independent, one condition that you change in an experiment. Dependent, the response. Okay, the response to the independent variable you measure or observe. Then control is something that does not change during, and you keep all this, all the factors provided to the plant if we are going for the plant. Okay. Now next, let's planting our seeds. Come. Okay, ready to add soil and plant seeds in the container. As per the teacher's requirement, teachers can select seeds. Okay, I am preferring mustard, green moong, bean, or tomato seeds because the germinating period also important. This is the activity of, as we have mentioned in the beginning, that 15 days lesson plan. So basically this activity takes 10 to 12 days. So within 10 to 12 days, that result should come. So depending upon that, the teacher has to select the seeds. What material we need: organic garden soil, potting soil also you can take, graduation cylinders, rulers, electronic balance, cups, growing light shelf apparatus. If suppose a school has no garden, then where are you going to keep this? I'll show the picture. This is called the growing light shelf apparatus. So all students can keep their experimental setup here. Okay. First, set plant for control variable: water, sunlight, and air. Then label the container as the control and place it on the appropriate place, whatever is convenient for this teacher. Now follow the same process for the remaining investigation setups. That they can go for the garden, school garden, or in the lab somewhere where good environmental condition is there. Now what happens actually as a lab activity where students will gain real experiences with topic. So during the lab activities, children will learn with multiple learning experiences. I mean, student can gain new ideas, demonstrate thinking. See, again, these words are coming. Develop critical thinking skills, group discussions, collaborations, hands-on. So these skills develop when they are involving in group activities. Okay. Then next, once they have finished with the setup, then comes the third step, that is called explain, of our 5E plan. Here they are analyzing and interpreting the data. They analyzing means they are taking the evidences to analyze. Okay, they measure, they observe the changes in the plants every day, every other day occurring. Okay, and they measure all quantitative and qualitative observations. Those are all recorded in the record book or that log book, and they may able to compare with a control plant which is getting all the requirements and a sense of what plants need. Then they ultimately a sense develop in them that really what do the plants need to grow, develop, and survive or thrive, you can see. This is the worksheet for lab activity. You can give like this: day 1, day 2. This is for 7 days I prepare. Structure, what changes they are finding day by day. Color is changing or not. Then height and or other things if they are finding. Okay. Then comes a fifth point of our lesson. That is elaborate. What are they going to elaborate? Remember in the beginning we said some question. Does plants need what were the questions? You remember? Does air affect plants growth? Does water? So after completing the activity, did they able to meet their questions? Okay, so they have to review their data table. Okay, structures that appear during investigations, they have to compare, observe color appearances, changes takes place throughout the week, and how tall the plant grew, if it grows, or whether it is in green color or some other color appears. Okay, then teacher asks, here the role of a teacher comes, then she has to ask them to note down all these observations. And okay, here one more thing I want to say, that science teachers, please always be friendly with others also, but especially with language teachers, especially English language teachers. Here the role of English will come, language teacher will come. She may help the children to make the statements. Okay, so all those observations, analyzation, evidences, now the children will able to apply the data to construct a written scientific argument. That is the end of the 5E lesson plan. That is, they are able to evaluate themselves. The children has to evaluate. This is a scientific explanation they are going to write. Includes a data as evidence from the investigation they have done or they did. Okay, so here one of my students work, it is one of the students work. I have set an example for you. So what at the end she wrote that by taking in water through the roots, carbon dioxide from the air, and light energy from the sun, plants can perform photosynthesis to make glucose and oxygen. Okay, so once they finish off this written scientific argument, you consider it as a summative assessment. It all depends upon the school to school curriculum and all. And when they are writing these statements and all, teacher keep on provoking them. Okay, by asking the different types of questions and all. What happens though the sunlight is not there, but still plants grow? That the children will be amazed. How what happened? Why, how comes the without sunlight also plant grows? Okay. Then curiosity develops. The teacher's work is to develop their curiosity. Okay. Likewise, other variables also, no light, but no soil. Do you think no soil seeds will germinate? Without soil, seeds can germinate? Can anybody?
Yeah, there is a person saying yes, and many of them also saying yes.
Yes. Yes. No
Yes,
soil
in
also.
water.
Yes. In water?
Yeah,
Hydroponic. Yes. I was thinking about this term only.
aquaponics.
Aquaponics and all. Our science fair favorite topics.
Nazia from Nazia KH, she says
Oh,
aquaponics
yes.
and
Hydroponics. I'm so lucky
hydroponics
that
and
I have attended so many science fair exhibitions, or they are keeping science fair, but क्या बोलेंगे आप, exhibitions actually those are, but all those are depend on hydroponics, aquaponics. I don't know why it is a teacher's favorite topic. So finally, uh, so this is now that teachers explanation phase where concepts are presented to the students in a clear and applicable way. Now teachers take the job of explanation. She takes student now teacher will give the clear explanation of photosynthesis, how plants makes food, and what are the requirements, where does the light absorbs in the where does the light falls on the leaves, where it goes, what is there inside the leaves, which trap the energy, light energy, and convert it into chemical energy. This all structure of leaf. To reinforce the photosynthesis process, teacher has to explain all this after the lesson is completed, after the activity is completed. Okay, this is the chloroplast, structure of chloroplast. And I think this is in class 10th, not in 8th. I don't know. Depends upon the syllabus and stand books also. And pigments, chlorophyll absorbs sunlight, which pigments are found in leaf cells and having openings where carbon dioxide enters and water is brought into the plants by the root. All these things teacher once again explain to them in a clear way. Ultimately gives the definition of the, children also set the definition there. Here also teacher can give the definition, the process of plants used to trap the sun's energy with chlorophyll and use the energy to convert carbon dioxide and water to simple sugars that stores energy. And the formula here, chemistry teacher also plays an important role. Now at the end, wrapping up the discussion, we know that plants need to sunlight, air, water, and for making the food. Also, plants are the best solutions to fight against contamination and clean the atmosphere. They are absorbing the uh, contaminated gases from industries, from water resources, and converting them for us into a pure form, that is oxygen. Without that, no living organism can survive, and plants and algae are the main sources of 80% of oxygen is produced by them. So we have to, in this way, see, we started our lesson by brainstorming about what plants have, are, and need. Then we compile these ideas and review them as a whole class. We student analyze the factors to determine what things we believe they believe help plants grow and develop. Then with the guided discussions, they have come up that carbon dioxide, sunlight, water, and soil are all needed for a plant to grow, develop, and survive. And we use the scientific method to plan and investigate whether or not these things impact the growth and the development of a plant. After all, identifying variables, being tested, creating hypotheses for each one, then students are able to set up their investigation, give their evidence-based statements, okay, using their uh, data and all, then come to the conclusion at the end. I think uh, it's, what's the time? I want to stop here only. Shall I?
Yes, because we reached 12:15. So
I hope I did. Did I make a point? I am asking.
yeah,
To some extent, I tried to a PBL lesson actually. This is the way how you can implement photosynthesis in a PBL form. And I'm not asking teachers to go with the same methodology or what strategies I am using. Teachers are free to use their creativity. Teachers are creative, I know. Okay.
yeah. So maybe we take.
Inshallah, we'll continue with that.
So tomorrow, what we will do is we will start focusing on the continuation of this session. And the team, I need your support even during the Ramadan period.
Okay.
So what we are thinking right now is